Good morning. Hey, I don't want to start on a negative note. We're going to end on a positive one. But have you ever felt like a failure? Yes, I think most all of us have at some point. For me, Algebra 2 and trigonometry in high school. Yeah, I completely failed that. Came back in college and aced it. It was actually an easier course in college. But there's more important things sometimes that we fail at. And that can be really devastating. Do you know that the disciples failed at times? Let's take a look at Matthew's Gospel, chapter 17. So this man, he's at the foot of the mountain. I'm going to tell you what happened right before this. He says this: a man came and knelt before Jesus and said, "Lord, have mercy on my son. He has seizures and suffers terribly. He often falls into the fire or into the water." It's like, okay, he needs help. Oh, but he had to tell Jesus this one thing. "So I brought him to your disciples, but they couldn't heal him." They failed, okay? Jesus corrects them and takes care of the issue. But they had to feel pretty dopey, okay? And they're like, "Why couldn't we do it?" And he's like, "Well, some of these you don't have enough faith." But he says if you have the faith, just the real stuff, it'll move. But you know what I think our issue is more often than not? It's listening. I don't know how good we are at listening to God. For most of us, prayer is more talking. And just in general, in life, okay, I'm much more of a talker. So I have to really work at listening. And I do like to ask questions, but the point is, sometimes you need to put a cork here and open these up. So what happened right before this? Well, it's called the Transfiguration. So it says that Jesus took Peter and James and John, and he goes up on this high mountain to be alone. And as Peter, James, and John are watching, Jesus' appearance was transformed so that his face shone like the sun. Okay? His clothes became white as light. And suddenly Moses and Elijah appeared and began talking to Jesus. Now, I don't know how they knew, if maybe they had name tags. "Hi, my name is Elijah. My name is I'm not exactly sure how that works, but it could have been part of the conversation. And Peter, James, and John had to just be like this is the craziest thing we've ever seen. So Peter, instead of just taking it all in, says, "Lord, it's wonderful for us to be here. Wonderful for us to be here. If you want, I'll make 3 shelters as memorials, one for you, one for Moses, and one for Elijah." I never put this together before, but James Montgomery Boyce pointed this out pretty well to me. So even as he spoke, a bright cloud overshadowed them, and a voice from the cloud said, "This is my dearly loved son." So this is the Father speaking. And the Father has spoken before, but this one time, he says, "Who brings me great joy." Okay, we've heard that before. Listen to him. What's the Father saying, especially to Peter? He's like, put a cork in it, Pete, okay? You don't know what you're talking about. We don't need 3 memorials up here. Take it in. Jesus will give you further instruction. Sometimes we think we have the advice for God. In 2024, how about we say, 1 mouth, 2 ears, I'm going to listen to God a whole lot more than I talk to God. And why were the disciples having a problem doing the healing down below? Why were they failing? Probably because they weren't listening to Jesus on other occasions. So it's just a very short sermon from God the Father. As a matter of fact, it's very short. How short is it? Let me count the words. 3 words. Listen to him. The Father would say to you today and to me today, listen to Jesus. I sent him with all the words that you really need. So listen to him. God bless you. Have a great day.